What's going on, guys? ¿Cómo están? BugaLuis here and welcome back again to another live reaction. Today we got the reaction of Group C. Later on in the day we're going to have the reaction of Group D, which obviously is a little bit more interesting since we have more teams playing out for just one spot. So it's going to be very, very interesting that moving on forward. However, today we saw right away at the start of the day France versus Denmark, which was a boring match. So I'm not really going to talk about that match because it was a pact of basically no aggression. No one single team decided to attack in that game. It was just like, let's go to it. Let's try and show off what we got, but not too much hurting us. You know, there wasn't any penetrating the defense or anything. It was just like a there match. So I'm not going to talk too much about that. Obviously I'm going to talk more about Peru versus Australia, which is obviously Peru, my country, and Australia, the rivals, and obviously Australia, who had their chance to go through if they had to win against Peru. If they managed to beat Peru, then they would have progressed to the round of 18. However, yet if France beat Denmark, but as we know, they draw, so it was a good thing for both teams. And basically they just walk off without getting any damage being done to them because France and Denmark are already through. So we're going to talk more about, first of all, Peru versus Denmark. I was very, very happy. I'm very, very happy to see that Peru goes out with the head high. We go out with 3 points. We go out with a win. We go out winning a match after 40 years. 40 years we win a match in the World Cup. And then after 36 years, we score the first goal. That's how happy I am. We're really, really happy right now in Peru. I hear fireworks. I don't know if you will hear them, but there are fireworks right now on the streets. And it's 11 a.m. Makes absolutely no sense. Nobody's going to be able to watch them even. But I'm just really excited for everybody. I'm really excited because we got the win. I think that's what we deserved. I think that this is exactly what Peru is. If we would have managed to play like this against France and Denmark, we are going to basically go to the round of like 16. I think what we play really, really good, but it wasn't lucky. It wasn't lucky, but at the end of the day, we get the win against Australia, and I'm very happy because we showed that we are not just that team who's gonna go to the World Cup and just, you know, stay there and not do anything, not compete. We went there, we competed, we lost our competition, unfortunately, but we're here and we won against Australia. We did the job done, and the group ends with France being top, Denmark being second, Peru being third, and Australia being fourth. So that's exactly what we saw today, and I'm very, very excited to see that we managed to get the 3 points. I gotta say that Australia, once again, I was very nervous because, as we know already, Australia has been playing really good as well. I think that Australia actually deserve a lot more than what they got. Only 1 point is really, really harsh for them because they played a really good match against France, the same against Denmark, and the same against Peru. However, against Peru, the last few minutes, the last 45 minutes, the second half wasn't so good from Australia, but the start of Australia was insanely good. I was really getting nervous because Australia were penetrating the Peru defense like we were not even there. The defense of Peru was shambles. It wasn't concrete anything. It was just like Australia, four touches, and they would have get to there. 4 touches, and Australia would go to the back of our goalkeeper. They would have get a shot in. Like, it was insane how good Australia were, how direct their football was, and how fast were they able to basically penetrate our defense and really go over our players. That was really good from Australia. They really exploited out the left and right flank with people like Behic and also Risdon. They were really good at both doing that. The fullbacks overlapping were really hurting our own fullbacks because obviously Trauco and Advíncula are two very attacking fullbacks that likes to go up the field and leave a lot of spacing behind. More importantly, we saw a bad start from Edison Flores. Edison Flores, for me, was probably one of the worst players in the pitch today. Unfortunately, he has been a great star for Peru all over the years, but now this game, you can see how his exclusion of the game against France really hurt him because he wasn't on point, you know. He wasn't delivering the perfect passes. His touch was kind of heavy and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, I think he was probably one of our worst players, and that's why they were able, Australia I mean, to hurt us real bad through the right flank. So in that sense, I gotta say that Australia probably deserved a goal at the start of the game. They were really, really clinical. They were really, really not clinical, but they were effective on their chances, but they were not clinical. Similar to what happened with Morocco and Peru in the other games. They had a lot of chances, but they weren't able to put it in the back of the net. And at the end of the day, like I said before, that's going to cost you. It cost Peru because they're not qualifying, and it cost Australia here because they're also not qualifying. So that's what happens when you do not put your chances into the back of the net. After that, we just saw one counterattack. Peru was really trying to play long balls, which I have never seen Peru do in a long while. Peru is a team which always like to play through the grass, likes to play like at the ground level, likes to play it really easy with the feet, really quick, a lot of touches. But they were trying to go this time around just throwing low passes and throwing long passes. And it was like, this is something that I haven't seen in a long while. However, our main goal, our first goal came from exactly a long pass. We passed the ball all over to Guerrero. Guerrero got it. Very good assist from Guerrero. He did exactly what he had to do, position himself very good with his body. He's one of the best players I've seen doing this in the world, and just put an amazing pass all over to Andre Carrillo. And Carrillo just an amazing volley and puts it into the back of the net. I'm telling you guys, 36 years waiting for a goal in the World Cup. It was worth it. Valió la pena esperar por ese golazo. Fue increíble. And after that, I was very, very just hyped. I was really like emotional because we got our first goal after 36 years. So it was insane. I was, plus what a good goal. Plus what a freaking good goal. So we took that into account. And then Australia just felt it. Australia felt like the first knock. They got the first punch in and they hurt. Like they felt it. And they played a little bit slower than that. And Peru really got a little more time to try and push forward up the lines, trying to get back into the game, and that's exactly what happened. But then Australia also get the ball really good. In the second half, however, we saw then Peru coming out more attacking. We saw the inclusion of someone like Pedro Aquino, a player who obviously was replacing Yoshimaru Yotun. Yoshimaru Yotun, one of our main players to play out from the back. He's our main CDM with a lot of distribution abilities. But Aquino is much more a player like to cut, a player with a much more defensive cut. And in that sense, I was interested to see what was Gareca thinking with this. But I gotta say, it worked wonders because in the midfield was where Peru was getting overrun in the first half. And in this case, Aquino would give us that extra little bit of aggression that we needed to try and overcome the midfield that was Aaron Mui and Jedinak. We basically did the same thing. We had a CDM like Jedinak who likes to cut in Aquino, and then we had someone who likes to play the ball like Tapia or Aaron Mui. So it was kind of balanced in that sense, and that's what happened, and that's how we got our second goal. The second goal came once again for the left-hand side, and this time around it was Cueva passing on to Guerrero, I think it was, and then Guerrero just like, I don't think he even touched it with the chest. I think he just shot it in the first, and then he went to the back of the net, and once again, it was a tight angle, but he managed to get the goal, and that's what happens when you have such a clinical striker like Guerrero in your team. Like, he managed to score from absolutely everywhere, and very good to see Peru then gets the second goal. After that, Australia were lost completely. I was really surprised how Australia were playing absolutely everything. Was it perhaps because they are seeing France drawing against Denmark? They get really unmotivated, but they should have played a little bit more. Australia should have tried to push more defenders up the field, try and bring more attacking players. They brought Arsani, which for me is one of the best players Australia I've seen in a long time. Really, really good young kid, but they didn't seem like they really wanted it, and that's what I'm really doubtful about. Like, what happened with Australia there? Because Australia, you were losing, but you had to win. Like, at least win your game. You know, anything can happen. France can score in the last minutes. Anything can happen. But Australia never really showed up, and that's where I see like I feel for Australia, because it has to be very, very bad, like difficult to manage getting eliminated by a team who is already eliminated. And I think that's the thing with Australia, that they never were able to get back into the game. And that's where I feel they were wrong, because they always had a chance to come back into the game, but they didn't took it. And I think that's the problem with Australia. Overall, I gotta say, I'm very happy with Peru's win. I'm very, very not disappointed with Australia. I also think that they deserve a little bit more. Perhaps not exactly in this game, but both against Denmark, against France, I think Australia deserves a little bit more. And I go out of the World Cup. We go out of the World Cup feeling happy, because we managed to get those 3 points and prove ourselves that we can get this win back again, that we can get this squad playing back into the World Cup. Because, for instance, Denmark, I don't even think Denmark really deserves to go through. I don't know what you think, guys, but for me, Denmark, against Australia, they should have lost. Against Peru, they should have lost. But they managed to go through. So, I don't know, but Denmark are strong. Like, they managed to also held up a 0-0 to France. So, we have to give credit to Denmark and credit to where it's due. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about Group C and what I think overall. I think that France, they're rightful first leaders. They got the good win against Peru. They got the win against Australia. And now they got a draw against Denmark. They should have got the win against Denmark, at least, I think, to try and prove themselves a little bit better. But some people overall, I'm thinking that France are kind of like there and there, because France, they won against Australia 2-1. They won against Peru 1-0, and now they draw 0-0. So it's like you have a bad taste on your mouth about France. You have a bad taste of them because they don't really show themselves like real candidates. But anything can happen with France, really. One day they can turn up like they did against Peru. They really turned up at the first half, but then they really went down slowly. So France, like I said, good job. First, obviously the best team in the group. They should go up on top. No problem there. Then Denmark, I think Denmark, you already know what I think about Denmark. They did good, but I don't think they deserve to go through. But at the end of the day, it's not about who deserved it, it's about who got the point. So Denmark go through. Next up, we got Peru. Once again, I think we did a very good World Cup. Unfortunately, we didn't get the win against France nor against Denmark. However, I'm really happy because we got the final win against Australia, but more importantly, we played good. I wanted to be competitive. I wanted to feel that we were in there. I didn't want to get beaten like 3-5-0 by teams. No, we went there. We played good. We were competitive. We show all the world that we are a good team of football, that we know how to play football. So I'm really good with that. Guerrero got his goal. Carrillo had an amazing World Cup. Pero Galese was also insane. We got very good players all around, and I'm happy that we did a good job in the World Cup. So Peru, for me, it was a satisfactory World Cup, but not the best. It could have been better, yes, but I'm happy. Yes, I'm happy. Then Australia, I think that Australia, for me, is also unfortunate for them. I think that Australia should have deserved at least 3 points as well. Like beating Denmark, I think they really deserved that because it was really underwhelming for them that they didn't get a win because they played really good football. We're just gonna think of Australia like that team, always Australia, they're bad, but no, they played good. They deserved a little bit more. So I think they should have gotten a little bit more. I gotta say that, just one finish off, I'm really impressed with 2 players from Peru and 1 from France. I gotta say that from Peru, Carrillo, he was insane. Like, he was really good. At Vincul as well. Many people around the world, like from England, Germany, France, stuff like that, in newspapers, they're talking about Carrillo and Advíncula, not only because they have matching blonde hair, but also because they played really good this World Cup. And I gotta say that they were our best players by far. They were really good. And from France, I'm impressed with Benjamin Pavard. He's really good. He's actually the right back right now, and he's playing. Did he play against Denmark? Let me check. No, France against Denmark. No, they play with CDB. But Pavard, he was really good. He was really good against Peru. He was really good against France, and I'm really impressed with Pavard because he is doing absolutely. He's playing really good for France. So we gotta give kudos to that guy, and hopefully he can move to a bigger club because he's now in Stuttgart, I think it is. So he certainly deserves a bigger move than obviously staying in Germany. He needs to go to a bigger club. And hopefully someone out there will pick him up because he's really good. With the ball on his feet, really fast, really strong. So good from Pavard. I'm really liking that player. So hopefully, guys, you have enjoyed this video. Remember to come back here at in 3 hours time or 2 hours time to watch Group D, the complete review and reaction to that team. And we take a look at there because it's going to be much more interesting, that group, than this one, because we already got Croatia, Iceland, Nigeria, and Argentina. And we got Iceland, Nigeria, and Argentina all playing for the one spot. All playing for one spot. So that's going to be really intense, you know? So overall, guys, hope you have enjoyed. Please remember to drop us a like and leave us a subscribe. Turn the bell notification icon and follow us on all other social media to keep up to date. See you in the next one. Take care. Ciao.